Okay, good morning, one and all. We are starting the third session of control system lecture. So yesterday we had seen very different types of basic controllers. That is on of uh, different types of analog controllers, feedback controller, feed forward controller, and we had seen open loop system and closed loop system. So that series ends with a topic which is called as a digital controller. So a very small part of that digital controller is there in your syllabus only in the first chapter. But whatever we are going to see in chapter number 5, that is state space analysis or state variable analysis, that will be actually aiding or helping development of digital controller. So we will see what is digital controller, and nowadays all the industries, all the systems, mostly they are using digital controller because digital controller is very easy to implement by using a computer. And nowadays computer, microcontroller, all the digital devices, chips, they are comparatively very cheap and they are very easily available. And digital controller actually offering a lot of flexibility to us. That's why most of the analog controllers are being shifted to digital controllers. Though the loop equation, loop characteristics, feedback, error amplifier, all those things are there, but there are some few changes you will find in the block diagram. Those changes are made in the analog controller to design a digital controller. So digital control system, we will see only the introduction part. So there are mainly two questions. Why digital controller? That means what are the advantages of digital controller? That is one. What are the differences between analog controller and digital controller? That is the main syllabus topic. And I will upload another book today. In that book, you have to study only the first 8 pages. You already know the basics of digital electronics. So some of the analog versus digital, that concept will be there in analog controller versus digital controller. So first 8 pages of that book you have to read. Just read as a novel, just understand, and whatever are the differences between analog controller and digital controller, which is the main question, that you can write from the slide which I will be providing. So exam preparation for digital controller will be there only from slide, but for your understanding or for better understanding, because if anybody wants to pursue in future study in digital control system, in that case you have to study, you have to do only digital controller, because analog controllers nowadays are not available. Digital controller uses PC, laptop, all those different kinds of higher end processors. Okay, so just go through page number 1 to 8. I will upload that book. The author name is Katsuhiko Ogata. So I have given you a book of Ogata already, but that is analog control system Ogata. Tonight I will upload in your group, that is Google Classroom, a digital control system Ogata. In that, read the first 8 pages. So two topics are there for our discussion today. First one is the digital control system, difference between analog and digital control system. Second thing, the most important thing in today's lecture is transfer function. So we will see what is meant by transfer function and how to find out transfer function of a very simple RC circuit in Laplace domain, and how to find the pole from that transfer function, how to find the zero from that transfer function, what are the significance of poles and zeros, and how can you say a system is stable just from the concept of or positioning of pole and zero in Laplace domain, and what are the properties of uh, transfer function based modeling. All these very important things, because now onwards till almost the end of the second chapter, so coming 8 to 9 lectures, always we will be dealing with transfer functions only, and there will be a lot of numericals. Every time you have to find what is the transfer function. So I'll be introducing you with the concept of transfer function, what are the properties, what are the advantage, and what is the limitations. We don't call generally disadvantage, but we call limitations. I'm starting with the same feedback control system that we had seen yesterday. This is an analog kind of feedback control system. So this is the command input. I gave the example of AC. So I'm setting this command input as 22 degrees centigrade. And here actually room temperature is supposed 27 degrees centigrade. So this actual process parameter is sent by the feedback element, which is nothing but a sensor. And here this is called as error amplifier. So set point is 22, and actual input is, or actual room temperature is 27. So there will be a actuating error signal, that is set point minus actual output plus 5 degrees centigrade. Controller will come to know that the room temperature is greater than the set point because error is positive. Error positive means output is higher than the set point. So controller will then generate control signal and will control the actual room temperature process by means of a AC. But control signal cannot directly go and control the valve. In that case, there should be an actuator involved. Actuator is nothing but a solenoid kind of a thing. So control logic will give the control signal you can find here to the actuator. Actuator will switch on or switch off the AC, and the room temperature will be controlled. So main things to check here is what is the command input, what is the feedback input, what is the actuating error signal, what is the control signal, manipulated variable, okay, and what is the controlled variable. So all these things are seen already in case of analog controller. Check the diagram of digital controller. Almost the same kind of thing. Okay, one thing I forgot to tell you now, this is a disturbance input. Suddenly if there is a, I gave you the example, suddenly if more temperature is input or more cool is input to the system gets disturbed, and in some few loops and after certain time, the controller again comes back to its set point value, that is 22 degree. Now you see digital controller, and here also is the same thing. Here also is the room temperature, or this is a plant or the process, and this is under continuous external disturbance or noise. And again the same thing, whatever is the output, that output you are sensing that actually how much is the room temperature. So now the same room temperature example we are doing by digital control method. So this is a digital kind of a AC. How does it happen? Let us check. And what are the differences between analog AC and digital AC? So this output is now coming. So there is an analog transducer, no problem. And this analog is coming to this noise. So there is some noise getting added while measurement. So this is called as measurement noise. Whatever this thing you are seeing, this is called as a process noise. So some noise is getting in the process, and this is called measurement noise because transducers or sensors, they always produce some kind of noise. Okay, that actually deviates the output from actual output to the output plus noise. Okay, so this is SP2. SP stands for summing point. Okay, summing point means where some signals are getting added to whatever predefined signal is. So this output we are taking, command input is 22 degrees centigrade. So we want the room temperature to be 22, but room temperature is now 27 because outside environment temperature is very high. So in that case, how the controller will control and bring the room temperature back to 22 degrees centigrade. This is actually the control problem. Now this output is fed back, so 27 degrees fed back, it is getting added to some noise. So this filter is trying to remove this noise. You cannot avoid this noise, but obviously you can connect electronic measure or electronic circuit because we are very strong with electronic circuits. So this filter actually would try to remove this measurement noise, and then it comes as a negative feedback. So here you can check it is given as negative. So you are giving negative feedback. What is the advantage of negative feedback? It reduces the overall process gain, and reduction in gain actually increases the system stability. So here everything is getting added, so noise is getting added, that's why this is plus, and here the actual feedback is connected in a negative mode because there's a negative feedback, because we are reducing the gain of the process, we are increasing the system stability. So up till this there was no change. Here also actuator and plant, there was no change, you can check. So here was actuator, plant, feedback, sensor, and sensor is going to the negative feedback. Okay, so all this part, actuator, plant, sensor, noise, filter, all this, there are no changes. So where is the change actually? Change is there in the controller. So this red block, whatever is shown here, is just called as a digital controller block. Now previous diagram, it was control logic, it was analog controller block, but now it is digital controller block. Whatever things I have explained till now, actuator, plant, sensor, filter, input, everything is analog. But we want to control it by a digital computer or our laptop or maybe our desktop. Okay, but that's a digital device. So whatever signal you are feeding back, it's analog. Whatever command input you are giving, it is analog. But this digital computer cannot sample and hold an ADC circuit. ADC is analog to digital converter. So this is the first difference between analog controller and digital controller. That is, analog controller does not have a sample and hold circuit, but digital controller is having a sample and hold circuit. Analog controller is analog type. Digital controller is nothing but a digital computer. Okay, so this digital computer cannot handle analog input, analog feedback. So first step is this error signal or actuating signal has to be converted into digital. So here the signal is analog. After sample and hold ADC, it will be digital. Now the error signal in digitized form is entering the digital computer. Digital computer is doing the control action and it is generating the manipulated signal which should be given to the actuator. So digital controller generates the manipulated signal which should be given to the actuator. But actuator is again analog. And whatever output digital controller is producing, it is digital. So there is always a mismatch of analog and digital. This part you have to understand. So initially we found that feedback is analog, input is analog, but input means command input. But this processor or digital computer is digital. So there should be a sample and hold and ADC at the starting. This will convert the analog into digital and digital computer will process the error signal and it will generate control signal accordingly. This control signal is to be given to the actuator, but actuator is analog. Hence, the digital computer output should be converted to analog by DAC. And not only after DAC, because DAC produces kind of a piecewise linear waveform or piecewise waveform that has to be held. So this is kind of a low pass filter circuitry. We will not go into deep into hold circuit. Eventually you will understand. So towards the end of this control system course, again I'll come back to this diagram and I'll explain what is the exact job of sample and hold circuit. So only you know this much, that DAC and hold, they are actually converting this digital signal into analog signal. This much you know at present. And that analog manipulated signal is given to the actuator, and actuator is giving the signal to the plant, and plant is changing accordingly, and the output is again kept to the standard required level of set point. So what are the differences? Differences is this block, that is digital controller block. And we know that whenever there is a digital computer or whenever digital devices, that devices should be given a clock frequency. So very shortly you will be started with microprocessor and all. So every microprocessor, microcontroller, they runs with a time synchronization. So there should be a clock or crystal oscillator. So that clock actually generates a clock pulse, and all the digital devices, so here sample and hold ADC, digital computer, DAC, all are digital devices. All these devices should be working in the same time frame to keep the synchronization in the circuit intact. Time synchronization will be kept intact. That's why there is a clock. So these are very big differences. So what are the differences between analog and digital? Analog does not have sample and hold. Analog does not have digital computer. Analog controller does not have DAC. Analog controller does not have hold. Analog controller does not have a clock, because analog controller is not that synchronized. So the synchronization is achieved in analog controller by means of RC timing control. But in this digital control, there is a very precise time synchronization, and which is achieved by keeping a clock. So this clock generates a tick-tock kind of a waveform, and that waveform actually keeps everything into sequence. Okay, so this is the main difference block between analog controller and digital controller. Remaining actuator, plant, sensor, filter, input, summing point, all the things are same. Okay, so main problem is, or main differences between analog and digital controller is the digital controller block. So question may be asked that only explain the digital controller block. Why digitization is required? The main answer is, here the brain or main controller is digital computer, and that cannot process analog signal. Hence there is a sample and hold circuit which is converting the analog error signal into digital. Why DAC is required? The controlled output or manipulated output is given to the actuator. Now actuator is an analog signal. So digital computer produces digital output that is passing through DAC and hold and being converted to a analog signal, and that signal is given to the actuator. Actuator is giving it to the plant, and plant is being kept at a constant required set point value. Let it be temperature, let it be water level, anything might be the application. Now you can find here that this plant is again continuously under disturbance. Okay, so this disturbance is actually trying to deviate the plant parameter from the set point to something else. Okay, so main job of this digital controller is to nullify the effect of disturbance. You cannot stop disturbance. Disturbance will come, but the controller or computer will try to nullify the effect of disturbance by very smart kind of control. And a very important thing here you can find here, which is called as feed forward controller. So last topic of our discussion yesterday, you can find that digital controller is a very smart controller, and hence it has incorporated a very good feedback controller in its loop. And feedback controller input is coming from directly from the error signal. So error signal is directly given to the feedback controller, and feedback controller is an analog controller here. So only whatever is shown in the red dotted box, that is digital, but feed forward controller is shown in black. This is an analog controller. So feed forward controller takes a priori kind of control action. So it is much smarter. It is having all previous knowledge, what had been happening in the process so far. With all those knowledge base, this controller will give an advanced kind of warning or indication or control action to the actuator. So this is an analog controlling action happening to the feedback controller, and this is a digital same digital feedback control kind of action which is being produced by the digital computer together. So this is the analog part of controlled signal. This is a digital part of controlled signal. Together they are sending message to the actuator, and this analog and digital together, they will keep the plant at perfect required value or set point. So everything in this circuit I have explained. Whatever blocks are there, you have to explain a functioning of each block separately while you are explaining the digital control system. So what is disturbance or noise? You cannot stop disturbance or noise. Disturbance or noise will come, but the digital controller with its smart control strategy has to overcome, okay, whatever the negative effect disturbance is creating. Here also there is coming some measurement noise. So there is difference between disturbance and noise and this noise below. So this below noise is a measurement noise. Above noise is a noise that is coming with the disturbance. Below noise is coming entering due to the sensor and transducer, which is directly affecting the plant performance. So every simple part, every single part in this block diagram you have to understand. If you are having any doubt, please let me know. I will try to elaborate. So send me a message in the group. I will try to elaborate. This digital control system. Now I'll show what is the main feature of the digital control system. And obviously digital control system is far better in performance than analog. So error and drift in data can be removed very easily because we are doing the processing by computer. So error correction in computer-based control is much easy. So error and drift in data can be removed very easily in digital control. So everywhere you have to remember, so you have to generate. So this is your work, homework kind of a thing. 12 to 14 differences between analog controller and digital controller you have to write down in the tabular form. That is, left side it is analog controller, right side it is digital controller. I could write it, but I will not write it. You have to read all the slides and you have to prepare that. So 10 to 12 differences between analog controller and digital controller, and not write point of view. No, you can say that analog is not having sample and hold, digital is having sample and hold. Analog is not having computer, digital is having computer. This is construction wise. Construction wise, 2 to 3 differences is enough. Don't write like that. Okay, each block wise differences, that is not the way to write. Mainly 2 to 3 differences in construction and 7 to 8 differences in function. These are the thing you have to write down in your way. So whatever features I'm explaining, whatever advantages, whatever sophistication in digital controller I explain, from that you have to prepare a difference table of analog versus digital, 10 to 12 points. So first is error and drift in data in digital controller can be removed very easily by digital processing. So in digital, you can see this PPT, many mistakes I'm making. As soon as I'm finding mistake, I'm minimizing the file, correcting it, and again displaying it to you. So mistake correction is very easy in digital controller. Easy to implement many sophisticated algorithm, because digital controller is mainly a program based controller. Analog controller is mainly a circuit based controller. Okay, so while you are preparing the difference table, keep on listening to my lecture, full lecture, you will understand, you will get a lot of points. So one important point you can write now is analog controller is a circuit based controller and digital controller is a program based controller. So just you can update the program and the controller will behave in a more sophisticated or more improved fashion. Hence, the digital controller implementation, it can implement many sophisticated algorithm. The same controller can implement many sophisticated algorithm, but analog controller is not like that. One controller implements only one algorithm in case of analog, but digital controller, one computer can implement many algorithms. So there's a very good flexibility you are finding from digital controller. So main advantage of digital controller is it is highly flexible, it is highly reconfigurable, but analog controller is not. Analog controller is rigid. Okay, once something is done, it is done. Okay, if you want to change the controller, the whole circuit has to be changed. Third point, by using digital controller, it is easy to include new logic and to control non-linear functions. Very important point, that is digital controller can control the non-linear processes on non-linear systems very easily. Analog controller cannot control non-linear processes easily because it is very highly difficult to control non-linear process, because dynamics of non-linear processes is always beyond our control. So a very sophisticated logic has to be implemented which can control nonlinear processes. Digital controller can very easily control nonlinear process. Analog controller finds it very difficult. Somehow it does, but it is very difficult. For digital controller, it is easier to control and reconfigure for better control. I told you that digital controller uses computer, so it is very easy to implement many algorithms by one computer. Whereas for analog controller, it is circuit based. If you want to change the algorithm, you have to change the whole circuit. What are nonlinear functions? So nonlinear function, you can say y is equal to x square, y is equal to x cube. Okay, y is equal to t is a linear signal. Now here there is a difference between signal and system. Y is equal to t is a linear function. Okay, and y is equal to t square is a nonlinear function. But whenever we are talking about system, in that case the performance or the fundamental of signal does not come. So if I am saying system, nonlinear system, here I am talking about nonlinear system. Whenever I am saying easy to include new logic to control nonlinear function, that means I am talking about nonlinear system. What is nonlinear system? I'll do one thing, I'll write in detail and I'll upload a PDF to your group today. So linear system has to abide two laws. One is the law of scalar multiplication, one is the law of augmentation. Okay, but nonlinear system does not follow the law of augmentation. Okay, so y is equal to x, you can say, is a linear system where x is the input and y is equal to output, or y is equal to 2x is also a linear system, but y is equal to x square is a nonlinear system. Y is equal to 2x square plus 5 is a nonlinear system. I will write in detail and I'll upload in a day or two. What is the difference between linear system and nonlinear system? A very good question you have asked, because at this time you should know what is the difference between a linear signal and linear system. So I'll write it down. After that we will discuss someday in the class. Okay, so this is another thing we have to do. I will remember. Last thing, analog controller is not flexible, but digital controller is highly flexible, and system design with digital controller becomes a lot easy. So here you are finding the theorems, the spatial mathematics, those are required in case of digital controller design. One is sampling theorem, we know. In sampling theorem, we know what is Nyquist rate, what is Shannon's theorem, and all those things. We need transform methods. So analog controller design requires Laplace transform. Digital controller requires Z transform. Okay, Z transform, I think we have done. Analog controller uses Laplace transform and differential equation, but digital controller requires Z transform and difference equation. Difference equation is given in N. Okay, analog controller uses derivatives. Digital controller uses differences. Analog controller uses integrators. Digital controller uses sum. Okay, so these are the differences. State space theory. This is going to be our topic for the last chapter. So state space theory was developed in 1950, and this theory has helped to use computers for digital control. So the discrete time representation has helped system analysis only at sampling points. And the fifth module of our syllabus, we will be discussing digital control or state space modeling. So these are the 4-5 mathematical technology. If you understand, it will be easier for you to design digital controller. Now here, this is a block which is actually a digital controller system with signals in binary graphic form. So you are finding here that actuator output and plant output is all analog. Then this is the signal, analog signal coming transducer. This is also producing analog, and input signal, that is the reference point or set point, this is also analog. So all the red signals I have given, they are all analog. Now in this is the block where sample and hold circuit, ADC, digital computer, DAC, hold. Okay, so here we are finding mainly digital signal. So sample and hold and ADC output is digital, digital computer output is digital, DA converter output is discrete. So there is a difference between discrete and digital. So I am finding many students continuously leaving this lecture. It is a very bad practice. So please stay on, okay? Because every single thing is a preparation for future, and a lot of things to learn. And if you want to go to higher level of understanding and higher level of understanding of subjects, these are the very basic things which you should not miss. So what is discrete and digital? So discrete is actually quantized in x-axis but not quantized in y-axis. So discrete signal means x-axis 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's kind of a sampled signal at definite x, the amplitude y will be produced. Digital also like that, but digital is having only two levels, low and high. Discrete can have many levels. So the difference is discrete signal is quantized only in x-axis but not in y-axis. Y-axis amplitude can have many levels, but digital signal means it can have only two levels in the y-axis and discretized x-axis. So difference between discrete and digital, you have to understand very clearly. And after hold, it becomes kind of continuous. Okay, this is called piecewise continuous, but this is also continuous. So which are the circuits which are producing analog? So hold circuit is producing kind of continuous type signal, actuator, plant, transducer, and input summer. All these things are producing analog signal. Sample and hold, digital computer, DA converter, they are producing digital or discrete signal. So this is I think page number 6, this diagram is given. Please prepare it the same block diagram but with signal wherever it is. This are discussed. This will not be asked in the exam, but please understand it. It will help you in the future. Now the most important question, many of it we have already discussed. What is the main difference between analog signal and digital signal? So 3 questions I have punched in these 2 slides. Why digital control system? So DCS is digital control system. Why DCS? Advantages of DCS, difference between analog controller and digital controller. So all these 3 questions together I am answering through this. So whenever you are trying to prepare that difference table between analog and digital, refer these 2 slides theory. So DCS works on binary. DCS are extremely versatile, whereas analog are not. Decision making is the main and most important function in DCS. So the digital controller, depending on all the inputs given to it, it tries to give a very highly judicious and perfect controlling scheme. That is actually decision making. So decision making is the main and most important part or function of DCS, and the main decision making is done by the computer, that is digital computer. So these controllers are often involved in solving problems related to optimal and most optimized operations and complex operations, multivariable industrial processes of higher complexity. Analog controller cannot handle complexity as digital controller does. So digital controller can handle complexity much better. Digital controllers can very easily control the nonlinear processes. Okay, so y is equal to x square is a nonlinear process, y is equal to x is a linear process, y is equal to 2x is a linear process. Here x is the input and y is the output. So digital controller can very easily control the nonlinear process involving complicated computational and logical operations. So whenever the process becomes nonlinear, it becomes complex computationally and logically. Digital controller can very easily control that, but not analog controller. Very wide class of control actions and laws can be implemented using DCS. Such wide variety in control action are not implementable using analog controller. Again, the complexity issue, that is digital controller can handle or implement very complex control algorithms. Only by changing, so last two points in this slide is very important, as I had explained already. Only by changing a software program while control operations of DCS may be modified. Very small change is required in hardware, but in case of analog controllers to implement a new logic, the whole new hardware has to be implemented. So this adds to the cost, this adds to the inflexibility of the system. So this DCS is very rigid. Okay, if you want to change the controller function, the whole hardware has to be changed. Whereas digital controller, only by changing a program, you can have a new controller function. Last line is very important in this slide. Hence, digital controller are more flexible than the analog controllers. DCS is suitable for controlling highly dynamic systems. So this is the application where you are going to apply digital controller. Highly dynamic systems like stock market, where at every second there is a change, or every second there is a profit or loss calculation. So stock market is a highly dynamic and highly statistical kind of a market, where digital controller is the only way to control the parameter. Are the slides visible?
No, sir.
Why didn't you tell me?
It only went out for 30 seconds, sir. So we thought maybe the problem with us.
Since when could you see this? Could you
Only
see
30 seconds ago, the presentation is gone, sir.
dropped? Okay, so block diagrams and all you could see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. No problem. This is the theory only. Now is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So I did this block diagram previously. Could you see this block diagram? Binary
Yes, sir.
graphic form?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
fine, no problem. Then it is only theory. It's okay. So the last line is very important. That is, digital controllers are more flexible than analog. Hence, digital controller is suitable for highly dynamic situation like stock market, nuclear reactor, disease control, like this. So where the dynamics is changing very regularly, there you are applying digital control. So now the same more advantages in the same line. So DCS can handle huge amount of data for processing. Analog controller cannot handle huge amount of data. DCS can perform complex computations with constantly high accuracy. Hence, these are called high-speed controllers and can handle highly dynamic operation and processes. Very high degree of accuracy can be achieved with small increment in overall cost. So we see that we are doing we are using a laptop, just by adding some RAM. Okay, we can increase the performance very heavily. Okay, so with very small amount of cost, we can achieve very huge increment in the performance. Availability of cheaper microcontroller. Now it is coming to the hardware side. So now it is microcontroller, ADC, DAC, computer, they have become much cheaper. Hence, digital controller, even for a very small process, that also can be implemented with a reasonable cost. For very large scale plant where huge data is to be processed, only DCs are used. So there is something called as a SCADA, SCADA, supervisory remote control, can be done by SCADA. We see in the movies that there is a one room, and sitting in one room, somebody is controlling all the nuclear weapons in the whole world. Okay, so that is actually a SCADA kind of thing, digital visualization, digital control, sitting in a very small workstation, or only within a small room. Maybe by using a small computer, you can control huge amount of data, or heavy big plant you can control. So that is possible only by DCS. So cost of analog controllers for such large plants are huge compared to the DCS. So huge big plants can be controlled by comparatively cheaper digital hardware. And if you want to implement the same thing by analog hardware, it will take quite a lot of cost and huge amount of money. Likewise. So DCS uses digital components like digital controller, sample and hold circuit. So it is given in green. Whichever are given in different color, they are the main points. Okay, so DCS uses digital components like digital controller, sample and hold circuit, clock. So clock is a very important thing generated by the crystal oscillator. Then digital transducer, etc. They are rugged in construction, highly precise, highly reliable, more compact, light in weight, and a lot cheaper than many analog controller counterparts. So very important topic, that all the digital ICs, digital components are much easily available, much cheaper, much reliable, much compact. So we can generate very big controller for huge big operations within a very compact form with a smaller circuit. So those who have seen TV before 10 years and those who are seeing the flat TV now, you can understand the difference. So previously there used to be some 10-20 circuit boards. Now there is only one circuit board, and TV means nowadays only the display. Okay, sizes of laptop, sizes of desktop, all this thing has reduced like anything, and all has happened because of advancement in digital control or digital chip design, and obviously digital control. So DCS has higher sensitivity to signal. Last point, DCS has higher sensitivity to signal and they're less sensitive to noise. So DCS can very easily distinguish between which one is signal and which one is noise. Okay, and it can remove the noise and it can increase or heighten the signal, whereas analog cannot distinguish very precisely between which one is signal and which one is noise. So very important point, last one, DCS has higher sensitivity to signal and lower sensitivity to noise. They are more flexible and easy to reconfigure depending on the demands of the plant control accuracy. So I think enough of discussion. Last two slides, 10-12 points I have said. Many of the points are repeated, many of the points are similar. So from this discussion so far, whatever has been done, you please prepare a difference of 10 to 12 points